Welcome to Wicked Awesome Cast, episode 162. We're at it again still. I thought you would have murdered me in this last week since you came back. I was expecting the wrath of Charlie, but I'm still here. Luckily, I'm still here.
Sure.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Unfortunately, this is a two-man crew today.
Yep.
It is myself. This is Alex, aka Mave Online, aka actually I don't have another one. Jeff was good at these fucking nicknames. I'm not. And of course we're here with Charlie.
Yo.
Charlie. Wow. Okay. You know what? Pack
Are
it
we
up.
just both
Podcast
brain
done.
bad this morning?
Yeah, I think we're just. You know what? Just pack it up, guys. Let's just pack it up. We had a good run. 162 was our cutoff. This
Sure,
is it.
fuck it, why not? Burn it to the
I'm pretty
ground,
bad.
motherfuckers! Middle fingers out! Spinning bullet spray!
I will get my ICP makeup ready to go. I'm gonna juggalo this fucking podcast and just burn it all to the ground.
Alex, yours to this podcast has always been Juggalo. It's why there's no video feed for it. I'm wearing the paint right now.
Are you rocking the full regalia?
I am down with the hatchet.
You down to clown?
Oh, I'm down to clown, motherfucker. Magnets, how do they work? All the Juggalo jokes I got right now.
Well, yes, I am, of course, Alex, a.k.a. Mave Online. I'm joined today here with Charlie, a.k.a. Mordak. Alas, Henry, a.k.a. Kraken Zero / Nomad Har, will not be here with us today. He is in the Shadow Realm.
No, we need to put these, either fucking watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Already, or put these Shadow Realm jokes to end, because what you are saying is he's in hell.
No,
That's what the Shadow Realm is.
Well, he could be. I don't know. I don't know for sure, okay? He could be fighting off hordes and hordes of things in hell, and we don't know that, okay? So, yeah.
Portland has made you worse.
Portland is... I've always been this way.
I know, but Portland has made you worse. Hard for me to drive and kick the shit out of you. I'd have to put effort in now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time.
Yeah,
Alex,
let me get
Portland. Why? Because someone has to keep an eye on your ass.
I don't need that much watch. Let me just hold on. Hold on. There we go. Let's get the Red Bull flowing. Because I'm trying to get that Red Bull sponsorship. Hey, Red Bull, if you're out there.
Every couple years, I realize that Red Bull in the U.S. is not Red Bull in the rest of the goddamn world, and
Is it
part of my
not?
brain breaks.
Really?
I mean, it's still an energy drink, but I think it's Thai Red Bull is significantly stronger. I'm more talking about the way the brand is represented outside of the U.S. It's a much more respected brand outside of the U.S. than it is in the U.S. Here it's the thing you mix with vodka. The rest of it has fucking stadiums and shit like that.
Huh.
They're not a small deal in the U.S., but not in the same way they're a big deal in the rest of the world.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough.
Remember, they have goddamn internationally known events like the Flutog thing.
Well, the Flutog is fucking great.
Yeah, but remember, that's Red Bull's event. They sponsor that shit in wholeness, I think.
Yeah, this is... I don't know. I mean, Red Bull's Red Bull.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. The Flutog is great, but they're an energy drink.
Oh no, the drink is still the
cool
same,
factor.
but in the rest of the world, they are a legit sportsy thing, which they're not in the U.S., but I'm gonna fucking stop talking. It's...
It's all right. This is, you know what? It's 162 episodes. We're allowed to have kind of a one-off. It's okay, man. We'll bounce back.
A one-off at 162. Oh boy.
It's all right, bro. It's okay.
Sign of professionalism.
Yeah. Hey, even shows like Breaking Bad had the one-off episode that people were just kind of
But I
Okay.
like The Fly. I think it's the best episode of that show.
Dude, I love that you know exactly what fucking episode I was talking about.
It's the most important episode of that entire show.
I mean, it does have good character development, but it's
the most
essentially...
It is the point when that show goes from being about one thing to what the rest of that show is about. Like that is a like spoke pivot point of that show that people just do not understand.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
It is in the grand spectrum of that show, like it seems out of place, but what that episode is the transition from kind of the small deal drug dealer shit to the finale of that show. Like it is what sets up, maybe not domino stuff, but it puts Walter White and Jesse on the path that leads them to what the final season of that show is.
Okay. I could see that. Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird episode, but like it is the point where Jesse doesn't realize how fucking in it they are, and Walter White is starting to realize just how fucking in it they are at that point, and like it's we have to change. We can't be getting by the skin of our teeth. Like we're not small-time drug dealers anymore. We are involved in some kingpin ass shit. Everything has to run perfect now.
Okay, I'll allow it. That's a good point. It is it also kind of is an interesting reveal on like how meticulous to the point that like one thing will drive fucking Walter insane.
Well, it's also the important like that whole show is a microcosm for that episode is a microcosm for the realities of the drug industry. The drug industry isn't some like people like first season Jesse are a big part of that industry, but they're not the ones making a shit ton of money. The ones making a shit ton of money are the ones that run it like a goddamn like high end everything must go right or people die business. It's not about drugs at that point. It's about pipeline. It's about supply chains and delivery and accountants and relations. It's not about like, yo, we got this meth. It's about, okay, I have 8 million pounds of meth and have to find a way to get it out there, and here's how we do it. And if someone forgets to bribe someone or a tire pops or whatever, shit goes to hell real quick. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Also, it's about meth.
It's about meth, yeah.
We should start up the Wicked Awesome Breaking Bad cast.
That would just be me going about, like, I want that last season they talked about doing to happen, and Better Call Saul's a better show. Every episode would be like, yeah, but have you watched Better Call Saul, which is a better show?
I actually haven't, and I should.
It's a better show. Like, don't get me wrong. Breaking Bad is fucking fantastic. Better Call Saul is better.
I'll have to get back to you once I start watching that.
Fucking love that.
Right now I'm watching. Well, let's get into our weeks real quick.
Sure.
We're like dancing off here.
Yeah, we are.
All right. I'll start us off. So speaking of watching, I'm watching that totally original new show that just premiered this week, for their third season, Stranger Things. With totally original premise, totally original plotline. It's a great show.
I looked at the trailer for that and said, I should watch this so me and Alex can fight about it on the podcast, and I proceeded not to watch it, play way too much Destiny.
I mean, like, it's good. It's good this season. I think it's a little bit better than the second season.
Okay, because the second season I thought was pretty bad. Like,
yeah,
me and Jeff's dumb hang-ups with that show aside, I thought the second season was not good.
Yeah,
there are parts I like more of it, but people seem to like, oh, this makes it better. I'm like, yeah, it does, because it's just straight up Cthulhu shit now.
Yeah, it's a little bit better now, I think. Like, this season's definitely better than the previous one. Also, because you have, like, some pretty cool, like, people show up. Like, for example, who is it? Well, you have the original cast, of course, and they've all gotten older, so they have to, like, obviously, like, make up for the fact that, like, that they're getting older. So that part's kind of interesting how they mold that. And then, like, you have some really cool, interesting celebrity appearances, like Carrie Elwes. Yeah, the guy from Princess Bride. He's the mayor apparently. So I thought that was fucking weird, but it's interesting seeing him now because he just looks like a slightly older, little bit more thicker version of the dude who went on a journey to in Princess Bride. So, but yeah. Overall, it's okay so far. I think definitely the pacing is a lot better than the second season for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm only like 3-4 episodes in right now, so we can hold off on that one. But we could always do a podcast of the show afterwards, like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. There are podcasts dedicated to rewatching the shows. Like, have you heard of these?
Yeah,
There's one dedicated to people who rewatch Frasier. Yeah, Frasier.
I like Frasier, so I would.
Oh, I do too. Don't get me wrong. Also, because like his brother in the show, and you watch Good Neighbor. You ever see that movie?
No.
So Good Neighbor has Frasier's brother in it, and he plays this dude who it's a horror movie. It's like a suspense horror movie.
Okay.
And it has Frasier's brother in it. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it and then talk to me about it next week.
I'm not gonna, but I'll lie. I will.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll find you the actual name of the movie. But
Fair enough.
yeah, it's a really, really good movie. I thought it was really well done. You could probably find it on Netflix.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just having like Frasier's brother turn out like to be in a horror movie is just kind of a shocker.
I will take a look at it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Probably
not. Appreciate it, Charlie.
I do what I do.
Let's see. For things this week. So my whole week can be summed up as one giant WoW grind, which is essentially what this has been leading up to the
Yeah, I was gonna say, and that's different from other weeks. How?
Yeah, no, it's been like I didn't play any other games. Actually, no, I take it back. I did briefly take a break to play some more Dauntless. And I played it with Mandy.
Huh.
Yeah, we got the PS4 loaded up. I got my PC set up. And
Let
then,
me know next time you're playing that. I'll come play that with you. I hit my wall of playing that thing solo.
Okay. I mean, we do, like, I'm like level 8, I think. And she's level 1 or 2, so we're doing the lower level bosses. Because even then, it doesn't matter, because it's nice
I got to grind
out
for materials, too.
Yeah, so she's enjoying it so far. She uses the sword. She's a fan of the sword. I usually run the guns or a hammer.
I run hammer typically these days.
Okay, if you run hammer, I might pick up guns.
Get that stun going, son.
Yeah. So I might run gun or the two little sword blades.
Chain blades, yeah.
The chain blades. Those, yeah, I like those a lot.
Yeah, I play either chain blades or hammer in that game. I've been doing primarily hammer.
Okay. Yeah, if you do hammer, then I can definitely rock the guns for all the buffs that I get for it. Because I have the, I don't know if you saw, but like, have you played with the guns yet in that game?
I liked them. What's the right word for it? I wish there was more guns, as weird as that sounds. I wanted, like, because you gotta get real close for those things to be good, which I thought was cool, but I wanted something that had like a little. They're fun. I wanted more guns. They will add more guns to that game the same way that Monster Hunter has more guns. But yeah, part of me wanted to be able to swap between guns and a melee weapon. I guess too. Like that. I'm not sure what that would be, but like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I definitely do enjoy running guns, but only when I'm running a full party.
Yeah.
Just because they have like an attack buff, which is like really considerate.
They are not as great when you're soloing, yeah, and that was probably my problem.
No. Yeah, they're fucking horrible solo. So, yeah, so I did get a time to kind of play with her for a little while, and then it was it wasn't bad. Like we had a good time. We played. She's kind of getting the feel for it. So, but she likes it. Yeah, she likes it because like it's not. Like, she liked Monster Hunter, but there's a lot of stuff going on for her on Monster Hunter.
Yeah, Dauntless is a great introductory to that style of game. I'm not saying it's a simpler version, but it's a friendlier version of that game. Monster Hunter's got some uphillness to it.
Yeah. No, it's definitely got a better intro, like a better beginner ceiling, if you will. Like, you can definitely get further ahead in that without it being too advanced.
Yeah.
So
And I think for me, Dauntless is a little limited. Like, there's no open world aspects to it. It's very much kind of a boss stage fight, which is fun. It's kind of what the previous Monster Hunter games were to a certain extent, but going from World to Dauntless was like, man, there's no monster versus monster fights in this game.
yeah, no, it's very much like you start picking a bunch of shit from the island for crafting potions and stuff later.
Yeah.
And then,
or don't, because you forget to use potions ever.
Yeah. I rarely use them unless I'm doing like a hard, like something that I shouldn't normally be doing, that I do with a group, like an advanced mob, then yeah. But if I'm doing all the farming stuff, fuck that.
I have enjoyed lots of YouTubers that have never played a Monster Hunter game getting into that game and getting wrecked by fights that they're like, this fight's real hard. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Just learn the patterns, son.
That's every game. Just learn the patterns.
Monster Hunter is especially bad, or especially important.
Gotcha.
If you're used to Destiny, which has less patterns, going from that to Dauntless, it's like, man, why am I getting wrecked? You didn't dodge. What if I dodge? What if I dodge?
Yeah. Yeah. But actually, Mandy also really enjoyed Destiny. Unfortunately, they don't have crossplay for it. They will have cross save, but not cross play. But I know Mandy was a big fan of Destiny 2 as well. So she might pick that up again and play, but she's switching between Red Dead right now and Dauntless for the time being. So but yeah,
she's not done with Red Dead yet.
She kind of pieces it on it, like back and forth nowadays.
Fair.
She does a lot of side quest shit. Like, she really enjoys doing a lot of side quest stuff. So, and I don't blame her, because I do the same shit. I'll take a long time just because I want to do a bunch of completionist side quest shit. I was guilty of that in Division 2, actually, where I started doing all the side quests until they told me don't fucking do the side quest. I was like, oh
yeah.
So, but then I was still conquering all the there's the name of all the little thing, like the little Safeway areas you can capture, and then it doesn't fucking matter because as soon as you go into the end game, you lose them all, and you keep losing them at that point. So that was fucking annoying. But anyway, besides that, let's see. So the WoW grind, yes. So next week is release to the new dungeon, Mechagon, where we get to fight a crazy race of gnomes who have replaced all their flesh with metal to become perfect beings. So, yeah.
I'm going to throw this one out there, Alex. I just want to hurt you a little bit. The only WoW expansion I care about this one is Classic WoW's launch.
I honestly am not that big on Classic
I
WoW.
know.
Like, I thought like maybe I'd be really like hyped for it, but I'm not as hyped as I thought.
Oh no, I want it back because that's the version of WoW I played a lot of. You played WoW and they started to go like, man, maybe some of this stuff was a bad idea.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of more looking forward, like I said, to the current stuff that's going on. I'm really excited about the Mechagon dungeon and who is it? Oh, Queen Ashara. Oops. the main antagonist of this patch. So we're gonna finally take on Queen Ashara in her palace, which has been hyped up for fucking ages. So it's about time. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I think I had mentioned this is the first time I'll be going into a raid tier, playing Elemental Shaman as opposed to any melee class. So that's going to be a weird transition point for me because all my style of playing for WoW has always been melee based, and I never rated like high-end raiding as a ranged class. So let alone a class that has to fucking worry about casting spells and shit. So
yeah,
it'll be odd, but I'm looking forward to it. Other than like that, I mean, just been grinding stuff out because I want to get flying. And the game is so much better when you can fly.
Yeah, that's unfortunately true.
Yeah, like there's this really cool thing in Mechagon, like you get a jetpack you can fly around with, and you just like double tap spacebar, and then the jetpack activates and you can fly around, which is really fucking cool. Because what they do is they don't make you abuse it where you can stay in the air all the fucking time. Because there are aerial assault units that will track you, and once you reach 10, they shoot you out of the sky. So that's kind of nifty. And then people who do fly forget there's an item in the game that exists called the Netomatic 5000, which has a huge fucking range. And if you catch a player in the sky, you can shoot them with it, and it knocks them off their mount, and they fall to their death if they're really high up.
The best kind of trolling is trolling that has a direct impact on someone else's enjoyment.
Yeah, and it's fucking great too because as soon as you shoot it, it follows them. So if they try to fly away from it, it will follow them until it hits them, and then it knocks them off the fucking mountain. So extra enjoyment.
I kind of wish that item that knocked was just called like random rock or something. Like just go full with the lore text where it's like hyper-engineered generic sidewalk rock or something. Where just it's like you threw a brick at him. Congratulations.
Yeah. Pretty
damn, ah!
God damn, ah! But yeah, other than that, I mean, that's pretty much what I've been doing. Like, it's just mainly grinding out fucking WoW, because I have to get ready for the patch, or for the raid next year, because of, competitive raiding. So this week, actually, just kind of throw it out there. Tuesday I will be streaming more than likely Mechagon's Dungeon.
Ooh.
Because I need to grind that out. And then also, this Friday and Saturday we'll be stepping into the Eternal Palace on normal and heroic mode. So, yep. Looking forward to it. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much been my week. Nothing else too fancy, just kind of working out all the chores stuff that comes out because, new patch, new things to do. And all the sims are fucking broken right now, so yeah. Because now you have to sim everything about your character as opposed to before. Because there's no best in slot lists or anything like that. It's all, this could be Titanforge, so now you got to make sure you account for this. Did you ever sim stuff when you were playing WoW? Like the spreadsheet that would calculate like your DPS?
Oh, fuck no. I never went that far. I was in a guild. Okay. I left a guild when they started to do that shit, and I'm like, I don't want to know. Like, I never got into raiding the same way lots of other people did. The moment people I play with start to min-max using spreadsheets is kind of the moment I go, I need to find new people to play with, maybe. Because WoW, to a lesser extent, because it's just button presses, but a lot of times when people start doing that, it starts entering into the, you're playing it wrong. And it's like, but I'm playing it the way I want to play. Yeah, but you're not playing it optimal. Okay, cool. Are we winning? Well, yeah, but I don't care then. But the spreadsheet super doesn't matter to me. I'm going to keep getting these headshots, and you can keep yelling at me about how I'm using the right gun. This is the gun I like to use. I don't know. Destiny's got some of that shit going on right now. There's a grenade launcher. It's like, it's the best DPS in the game. And I'm like, I super don't care because I still like grenade launchers. Fuck it. I'm going to be here with my hammerhead machine gun. Why? It's good.
Yeah, no, so that's actually what I've been doing for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, going through all of the simmings and all the shit like that. Like, it's a real fucking thing. It's gotten as far as I'm actually... Have you heard of Raid... I'm sure you haven't, but there's a website called Raidbots, and you do is you plug in certain character strings, and it simulates, like, DPS and gives you the coefficients of, like, your stat weights as, like, 1 point of haste means this much to you as opposed to this much, like, a point of crit. And it does all that, all the calculations for you. But since I do so many calculations based off of the gear I have, I'm actually paying for an additional service to get more calculated computing space on that. This is my life now.
Yep.
But other than that, it's fun to a certain point, but it's just I really fucking like raiding. So
that's fun.
I do want to put some time. Like once things starts to slow down a bit, I do want to put some time into to get some more Destiny
Yeah, I'm playing a lot of that right now. Part of me almost wants to say, like, maybe don't touch the game until I can play with you on PC, because that will be fun, because...
Well, I need to get caught up on the current stuff.
No, you don't, because they're adding that new, like, guiding, like, new light thing that will get you back up to, like, relevancy. Like, I'm like, this is a weird thing to say. Like, I'm having a shit ton of fun playing way too much Destiny 2 right now, but also what you're going to get in September, where you're not stuck going through some of the bullshit I'm stuck going through right now, might not be a bad way to get back into Destiny. But also, there's some cool stuff, but also, like, it's stuff I want to play with you because it's grindy, and having someone there to help me out, vice versa, would be good, as opposed to randos. Like, I'm fucking running Nightfalls by myself right now because I have quests that are like, yo, run these Nightfalls to do this shit. And I'm like, I don't have a clan. Fuck it, guess I'm running these solo.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll probably have to find some other casual guild to play on that for.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, for the time being, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. It's been going to be a lot more WoW for the time being, especially on the stream. So that's mainly because new tier, new things to do.
Yeah.
What about you? What have you been up to?
I've been playing a shit ton of Destiny 2. Like, way too goddamn much Destiny 2. Like, holy shit, why so much Destiny 2? I think it was like Thursday of this week. I'm like, okay, cool. You can play as much Destiny 2 as you want during the week, but this weekend you gotta play more Judgment because you didn't feel comfortable talking about it last week, because then you also played too much fucking Destiny 2. And this weekend, like, Saturday rolled up, like, okay, I got all this time, I'm gonna hang out, like, got nothing to do today, I'm gonna play some video games. You should play some Judgment. Or I could finish off unlocking these forges in Destiny 2 and do that stuff. Yeah, you're gonna do that, aren't you? Fuck yeah, I am. It's been bad, especially because I now have my favorite weapon in all of Destiny franchise history right now. Again. I got my precious Lord of Wolves back, and there's a nerf incoming for it, and as a very big fan of how overpowered that weapon is right now, it's overpowered and probably needs a nerf of some kind. How do I know this? Because I'm really good with it in Crucible. And by that I mean it's really good in Crucible, and it's just dragging me along to glory. I'm like, well, I'm here, holding on to this thing. Don't even have to aim all that well with it, huh? I love that it's back.
Yeah, I remember you've talked about this before, so I'm excited for you.
It is a weird conversation where it has always been that kind of sweet spot of broken, where it's like, is it just a really good exotic, or is it actually broken? And in Destiny 1, it was a wee bit broken, but not so broken it was ridiculous. But, like, my favorite memories in Destiny 1, ironically, all revolve around, like, cool-ass shit I did with my Lord of Wolves, and in this, like, resurgence of me being back playing Destiny 2, some of my favorite moments, hands down, with Destiny 2 have been, like, I got this Lord of Wolves. Shame you're moving, gotta die now. Like, it's just beastly. But it's also partially beastly because it matches my gameplay style. Like, it is a multi-shot kind of grenade launcher shotgun thing that rewards excessively aggressive play. Like the argument you could make with it is that this is kind of where I think it probably needs a bit of a nerf. Is I'm running kind of a hand cannon, Lord of Wolves and heavy machine gun kind of build right now. My Lord of Wolves out DPSs everything I have. Like it's a shotgun, so I'm building all of my armor around having like quick shotgun reload, shit tons of shotgun ammo, always finding shotgun ammo. And you know what that means? My primary is now Lord of Wolves, and it's real good. Like that thing lets me have Darth Vader moments. Like that and Red and Crimson are still like, oh, it's me versus 100 people. Shame, it's only gonna be me left when this is all standing. Sir, we have him
Oh.
surrounded. What's your position? I'm surrounded by dead bodies. We're alive still. Not yet. Soon you won't be. I'm stuck in a room with dead bodies and I'm with a bunch of dead men and people that have pissed themselves. Neither of those are true. They will be soon. It was the moment of I gotta fucking grind for this. Like it will make me enjoy the game more having it back. And yeah, it does. Like that.
So one question, is that from the current like tier of like, so my understanding was like, okay, so I have a helm in Destiny 2 I really like.
Yeah.
Can I upgrade it to the newest like light level?
Yes.
Or is it stuck in
yes,
Destiny
you
2?
can. For those things, we're coming back to Destiny 2 after all this time. So, did you ever experience collections?
I know they have them now, but not before.
So, the way collections work is if a item has static stats, you can reacquire it. Use an example of that. My Hawthorne shotgun from year 1 of Destiny 1 has static rolls, meaning every time you get it has the exact same stats. Maybe a different element on it, but it's always got the same stats. You can reacquire it. It will match kind of your rough level drop power level kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All exotics let you do that. So you'd probably be better off sharding the current exotic and then reacquiring it from your collections. It's not free. Like it's not like you just have it lying around, but yes, all exotics can be re-pulled from your collection.
Okay.
And like specialty guns too. Like I've been chasing pinnacle weapons. I believe pinnacle weapons can be reacquired from your collection.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know there are a few that they say you can't reacquire.
Anything that has a random roll on it. So essentially all legendary and legendary armor and guns. That's what you'd want at the end of the day. That can't be reacquired unless they're pinnacle weapons, which are a whole other nightmare unto themselves. But like all the legendaries from year 1 can be because they had static rolls.
Gotcha. But like the yellow exotic stuff you can get.
Yes.
That, right? Okay.
The guns are always the same. Some of the weapons, because some of them are swords. The armor can have different values from week to week, but you can still reacquire it. I think they said you won't get a god tier roll out of the collection, but it is what it is. Like the concept of god tier rolls for collections for reacquiring stuff is also different than it was in Destiny 1. Like they're bringing it back for Shadowkeep, so we'll see how it works. Like Destiny 2, you don't care about intellect, discipline, or what was it, strength, and they're bringing that back for Shadowkeep, and I think that will be interesting.
Okay.
Because that was a big fucking deal in Destiny 1, because Int gave you more super, discipline gave you grenades, and strength made your shield or your melee come back real quick. So depending on what class you were playing, what build you were running, you would focus very heavily on certain aspects. Like you always want as high an intellect as possible. I think it was like tier 3 or tier 13. There was a balance of kind of the maximum number of things. There was a maximum number of points you could have on armor, and there was the best spreads of those armor depending on your class and subclass at that point too. Like it was the thing. Like it typically was always Int, but Austin I'm running my hunter a bunch right now, and I'm running the arc. Hunter lets you recover on melee kills. Like the correct build from that in the old D1 standpoint would be like high Int, really high strength though, so I always have that kind of regenerate health ability going. Like that was the thing for Striker Titans at the time too, where you'd have that ability kind of in your back pocket where, okay, I need health, I punch something, it's me health instantaneously kind of thing. It makes your survivability way higher, but that's more than people want to know right now.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they're bringing that back for Shadowkeep, which I'm super excited about. I'm going to have my Lord of Wolves ready for it. We're going back to the moon with Lord of Wolves. We ride. Yeah, no, a part of why I've been playing so much of that game is it's in a real sweet spot for me right now where, what's the right way of saying this? I think Destiny as a whole is at its best when you can layer activities on top of each other and you're making kind of good progress regardless of what exactly you're doing. And the Lumina quest they got going right now is, I think, the perfect example where the game has kind of the optimal path. You want to fucking bang this shit out and do it real fast as possible. Here's how you do that, but also, like, any activity progresses this bar, so you can do whatever the hell you want and still make progress in this quest. You're just not making the most progress, if you will. So it's like, hey, you're trying to build Thorn? That's cool. You can go run Escalation Protocol right now, or you can kill a bunch of Warlocks. Both get you the same materials. One gets you way more than the other for your amount of time, but you can just kind of play however you want right now and make progress. And Lumina's like, hey, go do this, or just go do whatever the fuck you want, and we'll give you like half credit for that. And doing that and all the other stuff I missed kind of in year 2 that I didn't bother playing it at the same time, it's been nice. Where it's like, yeah, making progress, doing stuff, unlocking exotics, getting pinnacle weapons, etc., etc.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
the
no, I was gonna say sorry.
the game is at its best, I think, when you're just layering activity on top of activity and you're not chasing one thing exclusively.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I everything I've heard so far about like what's going on with Destiny right now.
It's in a really cool spot, and I'm not sure I'd say the same thing if I had been kind of keeping up with Destiny 2 through year 2. Like, that part of why I think it's in a cool spot is there's a shit ton of stuff to do right now. And like the menagerie, the thing they just added, is a fucking amazing addition to that game. That, like, I have the same reaction I have to the menagerie that I had to Gambit, which is, why the fuck wasn't in the game from the start, or why wasn't something similar to this in the game from the start? Like, it takes what I love about Prison of Elders, which is kind of the wave-based combat, but adds in light raid mechanics. It's like, hey, you gotta do stuff. It's not just about killing things. And that's what I like about Gambit 2, where it's like, yeah, you can kill as many things as you want. You still gotta bank those motes. Fucking bank those motes. I see you people I play with that don't bank your motes. Fucking bank them already. I will come to your house and spray paint "bank your motes, jackass" on your car. I will find you. It's cool you got 13 motes and died 3 times in a row, but it doesn't help me progress my rank for shit. Bank your fucking motes.
Good to know.
Yes.
For those of you out there, if you didn't get the message, bank your fucking.
Yes. I get it. You have 11 motes and you want to go for that 15. Bank at 10. Bank at 10. That one mote won't change things, and it sends a goddamn knight to their side. If you think you might die, bank your motes. If you think the enemy might invade, bank your motes. If you think you suck at Gambit, which most of you do, by the way, bank your motes. I would rather someone bank nothing but shit that never actually progresses to an enemy sent to their side than see these people die with 13 motes over and fucking over because they got surprised by something. Holy shit. I still like Gambit a lot, though.
I was gonna say, I'm a little upset about it.
I am so upset about Gambit because I love Gambit. It's still my favorite kind of repeatable mode in Destiny 2. Fuck yeah, Gambit. But also you have to bank your motes. I'm just saying.
That's fair. I look forward to dying and not banking any of them.
Yeah, we all gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. I actually did pretty good when I was playing Destiny 2 on the PC.
Yeah, it's not hard. It's more about builds and kind of situational awareness and playing to your strengths than, like, you've not played Prime yet, and Prime adds in the concept of roles, and not roles as in stat roles as in, like, your role in a party, and I think that's a good thing for Gambit, because some of us are way better at just clearing a shit ton of enemies at once than we are at invading, and that's fine, but also, like, someone needs to fucking babysit the bank, so when that guy that's collecting all those motes comes back, they can actually fucking deposit. It is cool to see that game put, like, the correct way of playing that game into a more feasible version. It's like, hey, here's how you actually should be playing Gambit, FYI.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So again, you all can run around, but maybe someone should stay at the bank. And yeah, your invader should be out there, but also like you should have someone you know is going to be the invader because there's a good chance not all of you are good at it. I don't know, like I played Reaper or Sentinel in that game. My job is to either keep banks clear or keep the field clear of enemies. Those are the two things I do well in that game. And just how I like to play makes me very good at both of them. I am not a good invader. I'm an okay invader, but it's not what I love about Gambit. Yeah, no, just playing way too much fucking Destiny 2 and fixing my house. I didn't even think anything fun for 4th of July, even. It's like, what'd you do? Played Destiny 2. Slept, hung out with my dog. Drank a little.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was 4th of July.
That's the correct reaction to have to this year's 4th of July.
Yeah, I didn't do anything this 4th of July.
Fuck 4th of July this year. I made the mistake of joining the social media platform like Nextdoor or something, and we have real bad fireworks in my neck of the woods. And I use the phrase "is real bad" because I live in a fire zone, so like I don't want fireworks near where I live.
Yeah, no, of course.
And people are like, fuck that, we're gonna launch fireworks. I'm like, we live in a fire zone. The town almost burned down last year. Don't. I don't care where the cops show up because we're in a fire zone. What are you, an idiot?
Yeah, some people are really fucking dumb.
Yep.
Sorry, but there's no getting around that.
Yep.
I will say though, like, actually, I was gonna ask you how'd your dog do with the fireworks?
She's did better than most dogs probably did. So the first year we had her, she didn't even know what the fuck fireworks were. Just kind of slept through it. This year, she tensely slept through it. We spent a lot of time beforehand making sure she was tired. I credit this to she watches me play a lot of video games that have explosions, so she's used to explosions, kind of.
Gotcha.
But
yeah, our dogs actually did pretty good. We took them out to go walk around downtown for a bit.
Yeah.
And they did okay. Fireworks going off, they kind of don't really care that much. You know, if there's a really loud one, they might perk up for a second, but other than that, they don't freak out or anything like that. And it sucks because like I have coworkers who are like, yeah, I had to spend a couple hours in the bathroom with the dog because they're freaking the fuck out. So.
Scrump is pretty good at not being too terrified of life. Yeah.
I mean, it's not that they're terrified of life; it's just fireworks.
No,
sometimes really fuck with some dogs.
Yes, the bigger one, we did 2 earthquakes. Like we had one on the 4th of July, and then one in like a day or two after. Those were bigger deals to Scrump than fireworks were ultimately.
That's right. I forgot you guys had earthquakes.
Yeah, they weren't great. First one, so that's the funny thing. The first one I didn't even know was happening until Jen was like, "Hey, we have fucking earthquakes happening." I'm like, "We do? Don't you feel it?" No.
Shit.
I got sea legs. I'm used to boats or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, but fireworks are a whole nother monster. Some people genuinely freak the fuck out.
Earthquakes and fireworks.
Sorry, earthquakes. Yeah. Like some people are genuinely freaked the fuck out over earthquakes. Yeah. Like, I will say it was funny one time when like there was a pretty bad. It was an earthquake. It was right after the Northridge quake. Years ago, I was living in LA. They knocked out our power and all that.
Yeah, people keep having reactions to that, which, yeah,
it's a little wonky, but no. Other than like, I was awake for the Northridge quake because it happened like at what 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah, I've seen lots of people posting about kind of like not PTSD, but like I was here for the Northridge quake too, and I was scared of that, and I'm like, this one seems to not be as bad, but what the fuck do I know?
Yeah, I mean these were all relatively far away from like from LA, like they're all like several miles away from Barstow.
North of us,
yeah, so those places got hit more, but glad everybody's okay. So far, everybody that I talked to was like, yeah, no, we're fine. Which is good, because, I'm all the way over here. So there's a little bit of a sense of like, oh, damn it, so far away. I hope they're okay. That's when I'll go hug my mom. But she's doing fine. She's like, we're fine. She's a tough lady, that one.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, well, I'm glad everything's okay, and I'm glad Scrub didn't freak out for the fireworks. I don't know. Have you had her for a year already?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure we talked about her birthday on the podcast at some point.
Okay. So I was wondering, I don't think I've ever asked you, did you ever have her for 4th of July?
Yep, she's been through 2 now, technically.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious.
This was definitely worse than last year's, but...
Gotcha.
Fuck! Moments of Triumph just launched in Destiny 2. Fuck!
What?
It's so yearly
What?
they do a thing called Moments of Triumph for... what's it? Yeah, Moments of Triumph where it's like special unlockables for like, hey, how much shit did you actually do in year 2? And it's a short period of time. It's cool. Whatever.
Well, let's burn to the podcast, then you can jump on.
God damn it. I got shit I gotta do today. Fuck! God damn it.
And now on that note,
the moon is haunted. News.
Well, I guess first news, Destiny just released
Moments of Triumph for live in the fucking Destiny 2. I have no podcast till they're over. Sorry. This is ending right now, in fact, actually. I got shit to do. Fuck this podcast noise. It's a waste of my goddamn time. I got Destiny 2 to be playing right now. Peace! But speaking of Destiny 2, actually, Guardian Con, which started off as just a charity, run by, I think it's Professor Broman, who's a streamer in the Destiny community, and has grown into kind of a pretty substantial kind of fan official Destiny event, if you will. Raised $3.7 million for St. Jude's.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Indeed.
They fucking crushed it,
yes.
man. St. Jude's been getting a lot of, like, I've seen a lot of streamers and all that stuff doing stuff for St. Jude's. Like,
yeah.
recently.
I think there's an aspect of it's not like, not to knock Extra Life by accident, but I think the idea of you're contributing to kind of a concept in general as opposed to a specific hospital makes it simpler for some streamers where it's like, yes, I'm international, but it supports international, I guess, but not, you could do both.
No, yeah, I mean, you can definitely do both.
You should do both.
Yeah, I myself will be dabbling in a couple different ones this year. There's, well, I guess I'll briefly talk about it, but obviously I'm going to do my Extra Life stream this year, so that'll be a thing.
Yeah.
I'm also going to be doing, at some point this year, for charity. So this guy I met at Extra Life United a few years ago, and he was kicking off another charity called Pause Your Game, which is a charity that basically raises money to save dogs from basically from kill shelters. So, he's been putting together for a while now, and I've been following his progress, and he's kind of building it from the ground up right now. So, I'm probably gonna do a stream for him at some point to kind of help him out and all that. But yeah, he's a really cool fucking dude. And then probably, I don't know, I wanted to see, because Tillify does a lot of like linking to accounts that would raise money for certain things, and you would actually have the pop-up of like, hey, so and so donated on your stream, which is one of the biggest things I really wanted to kind of take care of.
Yeah.
Like to have that pop up, so it's not just like, oh, hey, this is where we're at. So I think they do a couple ones with like the Wounded Warrior Project, St. Jude's, of course, and yeah, a couple other ones. But yeah, so I think I'll be doing a few more. But yeah, I definitely want to kind of dabble in a couple different charities this year. But yeah, I'm of course still gonna do Extra Life, so that's not changing. I'll just probably like dedicate this month for Extra Life and then another month for something else at some point. So, but yeah, fucking Guardian Con though, man.
Yeah,
it's fucking great. So, yeah, I probably won't have anything on my Triumphs at all.
Probably not, but
so. I haven't been playing it for a cool.
I don't know if I will either, in all honesty. Want that Sparrow though?
Oh, is there a Sparrow?
There's rewards. There's in-game rewards for it. Yeah, like there's stuff to unlock.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So, Moments of Triumph, Destiny 2. If you're playing, get on it.
Yep. Speaking of kind of large loot shooter type things or convention based, TennoCon, the kind of other big loot shooter I occasionally dabble with out there, happened this weekend. It had some big reveals come out of it. Most notably, it showed off 2 new Warframes. So it's the Warframe people, not the... Probably should have mentioned that. Fuck, where are they? God damn, I didn't write these notes down. It's showing off 2 new Warframes, or I think it's like Gauss and Grendel.
Mm-hmm.
Confirm that quickly. God fucking damn it, this should not be this hard to find and confirm. They've also announced their new expansion, which is the New War. Previously, Warframe had been kind of stuck in, quote, the old war, kind of mopping up the conflict that led to where things are at now, and things are kicking off. They showed off some cool trailers, ranging from kind of weird equine robot things that are nightmare fuel to just kind of officially showing like we heard about this last year, maybe even 2 years ago now. I think it's the Railjack system, which is the player kind of controlled ships. There's no new zones officially for this yet. It's going to be kind of revisiting and expanding content that already exists. Hence, the Railjack stuff will be an expansion on content that currently is playable in game. Those who don't remember, the Railjack system we were showed off was kind of ship combat with an invasion aspect to opposing ships. It's all PvE because there's no real PvP in that game. There is, but not really. It looked cool. Like every couple months, I play a little bit of that game. Sometimes for extended periods of time. Sometimes for only a couple of days. And I've not gone back to it recently. I've heard they redid the parkour system quite a bit in kind of the last year or so, and some of the melee combat, which I find intriguing, because that was two of my big issues with the game. Stuff kind of lacked impact to it. By that I mean like hits didn't quite hit as hard as you wanted them to. But yeah, I've never quite devoted myself to that game, though I've devoted myself. Like, even Anthem I probably did more deep dive on than that one, and that's maybe not fair to Warframe in some ways, because Warframe gets some shit done. It's very impressive for a free-to-play game. Yeah. And I can't find the 2 names I was looking for. Apologies for that. I'm pretty sure it was Gauss and Grendel, though. I know one for a fact is Grendel. No information on what the hell those 2 are just yet, but yeah.
Okay.
You're into Warframe, I'm sure you know all that stuff. There have been some rumors going around that CD Projekt Red might be working on multiple different Cyberpunk games. That is not the case. They misspoke or was mistranslated or whatever when they said they had multiple studios working on Cyberpunk. What they meant was they have multiple studios working on Cyberpunk 2077, not multiple studios working on different games for Cyberpunk.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember hearing. I think didn't we even talk about last week. They said, "Hey, there are multiple Cyberpunk games being worked on."
They never said it was it was taken out of context or kind of misquoted.
I could have sworn we said something similar to that.
There was a rumor going on for sure. I think we reported on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Okay.
But the phrase was, we currently have a total of 5 teams working on a number of projects, 3 focusing on development of Cyberpunk 2077. It was a mistranslation.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. But
yeah.
I'm glad they cleared that up. That's always nice.
Yeah.
They'll step in and do that.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Nice to see that there's focus there on one game.
It's kind of like if you said, "Hey, we're making a Mass Effect MMO," I'd be instantly intrigued. If you got out there and said, "Hey, we're making a Cyberpunk MMO," I would also be like, "Tell me more." It's from Telltale Games. Weird choice, but tell me more still. It's a concept that immediately appeals to me, regardless of who's attached to it, in ways that I'm not proud of, but just it's like, it's a thing I want, and by dangling that thing I want in front of me, you will get me interested, whether I should be or not. Like, Anthem's the perfect example. It's like, it's a loot shooter, okay, with mechas. You had me at loot shooter. You have my erection at mechas. Speaking of mecha, actually, we have an official release. I'm doing good on transitions this week. We have an official release date for Metal Wolf Chaos, August 6th. Normally we don't do kind of big game releases because it doesn't matter, but Metal Wolf Chaos is a game that's too near and dear to my heart, and we have nothing fucking better to talk about this week. Metal Wolf Chaos is either the best or the worst mecha game ever. I don't know which. It's been kind of I'm not sure if it officially came out in the U.S., but it's You play as the U.S. president in the mech Metal Wolf, which is kind of the NRA's wet dream, is what that mech is. Like, its superpower is just guns. It's got a real dumb plot. It's from Software, the people that brought you Dark Souls and stuff. Remember they made mecha games at one point. It's not a good game, but it's a game I love because it is ridiculous. And if you like kind of those dumb B-movie games, Devolver Digital announced they were remaking it. It was a big deal when they announced this. The rumors was coming on July 4th. It obviously did not, but I will take it on August 6th because fucking Metal Wolf Chaos.
I love that. It's not a great game, but we're going to talk.
Let me spell out the story of Metal Wolf Chaos for you. The vice president stages a coup inside the U.S., and the president is forced to flee. And to do so, he gets into his mech, the Metal Wolf, that launches through the White House lawn and proceeds to solo take back America from the usurpers using mech combat in a variety of zones ranging from Old West Town to military base to other shit. It's a mecha with like a bee stinger on the back full of literal guns that it can like pop open and just shoot like its hands holding like fucking handguns and stuff. It's real dumb in the best way possible. But it's fun. I'm excited for this because like,
I don't see the negative here.
There is no negative. Like, this is the game you want in these horrible political times because it's ridiculous. It's B-movie goodness. They just don't make video games like this because we're better at making video games, but this game has a lore to it on the internet that makes it worth revisiting. I don't want to say made famous by the Two Best Friends YouTube channel, but definitely kind of brought back into many people's understanding of existence courtesy of them. It's like, this is a game where like the vice president will level giant chunks of a city in the name of stopping the president from stopping him. Like, tactical nukes are a thing. It's a dumb game that didn't play great, but maybe it will play fine now. We'll see.
I'm kind of on board.
You should be. This is not a game that like people are going to spend the next decade dissecting. It's not Half-Life 3. But it's definitely on board with like Vanquish and stuff like that, where it's like the game is not long, it's fine, put it on easy and have some fun with it. It's a cool game to stream because you have characters just yelling shit the entire time, and it's very of the Xbox era.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Speaking of the Xbox era, Shenmue 3 got itself in a bit of trouble with that whole Hey, released on Epic Store, not Steam. That whole thing exploded, as it does every single goddamn time. And Shenmue 3 said, fine, we'll fucking refund people's backer orders on that, etc., etc. And then Epic stepped up and said, hey, we're going to pay for all the refunds because we want to make sure Shenmue 3 has all the budget it's supposed to. Shenmue 3 has a bit of a weird kind of aura around it. It was at E3. I heard nothing but bad things out of E3. I think the best phrase I heard was from someone basically saying it's like someone made a video game right after Shenmue 2 and then put that video game in a vacuum seal container and then buried it and then like spent the last year digging it out of the ground trying to find it, and that's what that game is.
Okay, that's oddly specific.
It's very Shenmue apparently in both a good and bad way.
Gotcha.
It's very of the time. Like, remember, Shenmue was a Dreamcast game. We've come a long way in video games since then. And QuickTime events, for that matter.
Yeah.
But I guess cool Epic is putting the money for refunds for this controversy that won't die, despite how fucking stupid it is at this point. But that being said, I also get the angle of, hey, I kickstarted this because it's coming to Steam. It's not on Steam anymore. That's a bit of a dick move. I get that complaint.
That's the part I'm glad we can agree.
Yeah.
On. Like, because it is a dick move to like, hey, promise something, and then like basically cop out of
Yeah,
it.
that's a dick move. If they said we're releasing it on PC platform yet to be determined, people are like, it's not on Steam, I want my money back, then you're a fucking jackass in my book. But if they said Steam, which they did, then yeah, it's not a cool thing to just change over at that point.
Yeah. So, well, they're also gonna do, I guess they even changed it now. I don't know if you heard about this because I was listening to a couple things about this. I think they were gonna originally. So let me backtrack here. So one of the things they wanted to do originally, I don't know if you heard about this, was they were gonna put together anybody who pre-ordered or kickstarted the game would get a Steam key on launch, but you couldn't buy the game after it released until a year after on Steam.
See, I'm okay with that.
So I was hearing that was also a thing, but I think there was some breakdown in communication between like Epic, Steam, and the developer in terms of that. So that's why they decided to just do the refunds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was hearing rumors that the plan was, hey, if you kickstarted this, we will give you a Steam key day one of the release. But if you want to buy it after the kickstart, you have to buy it on Epic for the first year. So, which I thought would have been an interesting compromise, but I think there was just some breakdowns on that. So
yeah, I think Metro Last Light went through something. So not Metro Exodus, whatever the most recent Metro game was. That had a similar situation where if you bought it through Steam before they kind of said, "Hey, we're doing Epic exclusively," you still got a game. Like you got it, you just can't buy it through Steam after a certain point.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's really interesting to see this, like, the way this kind of bounces around.
Yeah, we have to kind of agree to disagree on this one, because I know my stance is this is like saying I want to buy it from GameStop, but I can't buy it because it's only at Best Buy. It doesn't fucking matter, but this is when I can get on board with you. Like, no, you said you were going to do something. You should have just done something.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, if they had done the, hey, you can, like, we'll give you fucking Steam keys for it approach, I'd have been fine with that too, because then you technically did what you said you were going to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this saga is definitely not at an end.
It's
not necessarily the Shimui or Shemue saga. I don't know how to pronounce it. But
Shimui I like, though.
Shimui. You know what? I'm calling it fucking Shimui. This whole thing with Epic and Steam is definitely not gonna fucking die down anytime soon. So we're in it for the long haul, baby.
I really want to know exactly how much of the population actually cares about this. Like, even on this podcast, 1/3 of us doesn't actually care on this one. Like, it's.
Is that you?
Yeah,
the one who
yes, I'm
care?
the one that does not care. I think it's the whole kind of Epic versus Steam fight is the dumbest thing ever. Where it's like, oh, because it's like it's exclusive. I'm like, you can play it on a PC. It's not an exclusive. It's exclusive to a platform. Yeah, that doesn't fucking matter to you. Well, it's not in my library anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Too fucking bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we talked about this last week. It's not worth rehashing it. Some, like, I think it comes down to, in my mind, that it's an exclusive, and it comes down to have you and Henry, where it's like, it's shitty, but I'm like, it's really not. But I get why you think it's shitty, but it's not. Shitty as Spider-Man. Spider-Man's not on Xbox.
So here's actually where I really want to define that whole thing real quick. The way this was handled, in terms of them saying, hey, Kickstarter is on Steam, and that's how they advertise.
Yes, that is shitty.
And then after they've gotten backing, like after they've got their backing from their base, and then bigger studios get involved, all of a sudden they're like, you know what? We're changing this. That part I really
I don't object to, but also I think it's... I want to say the Kickstarter for this game happened before the Epic Store or Fortnite even existed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not an excuse, but I think it's one of those things where it's if you had just said, and also on PC, and people were throwing a hissy fit about it now, it's like, no, we said PC, not what platform. But if you say Steam, you have to fix it.
Yeah. But that's my whole gripe with this.
Yeah.
You say Steam, and then change it after you've gotten bigger studio backings, that's really shitty. Like, I think that's part of the reason that Metro Exodus had so much drama, because they were just like, well, we'll just give you refunds, because at this point, we've already got money from bigger studios. If we give refunds to people who backed us, we're not taking a hit. And that's such a shit move to make.
Yep.
because you wouldn't be able to get those big deals if you weren't kickstarted and there wasn't interest shown in the first place. But now that you have it, all of a sudden, the people who help get you started don't mean shit. That part really fucking works.
No, I agree with.
More than the whole exclusivity BS about that, it's that whole, you know what? We have our backing now. We don't need you. You guys can take your money back. That part, that one really gives me a fucking... I have really big gripes with that one. But anyway, that's beside the point now at this point.
Yeah.
I'm glad there's some sort of resolution going on with this, but this saga is definitely not over.
It's not even a saga. It's just people fighting about shit on the internet. Like, it's
gonna be a thing for a while.
Like, all of this fails in comparison to the fact that neither platform lets you own the actual game you buy through it. Just saying.
This is true.
Like that's
ebooks.
what you should care about. Like, it's you are buying a license for a game, not a physical license. Like, the fact that you can't buy physical PC games anymore is something we all should be more upset about.
Yeah, which is funny because I think they were even saying, like, when you buy the physical copy of I think it was
Borderlands,
Shenmue.
Yeah.
No, Shenmue. There's a disc, and the disc is just the installer for the Epic store.
Yeah, I think Borderlands 3, if you bought the PC version from a physical retailer, the box just contains the Epic code.
Yeah.
Like,
which is really fucking weird. Okay.
That's the thing people should be upset about, not which fucking launcher they get to use in my brain, but that's a separate topic for a different time.
That's fair.
Speaking kind of actually in kind of context to this topic this week, G2A, a online retailer for video games, specifically PC games, truly the most nefarious, at least definitely notorious of video game outlets at this point. I came under some pretty heavy fire. This all started off with a tweet from a developer who said he'd rather you just pirate games than buy stuff off G2A. Which
I remember hearing about
is
that.
A pretty strong stance to take right off the bat, but has then spiraled kind of out of control to a whole situation where you've had a variety of people breaking down. Like, were you aware how G2A worked prior to the whole kind of shitstorm this week?
Yes, I have heard on how it works. I will say, early on, I actually am guilty of buying.
We all were. So G2A is a key reseller site, meaning you can sell them a key, typically a Steam key, it might be an Epic key at this point. You can sell them essentially access to a game, and then they resell it for way fucking less, typically, than the game actually costs you. The issue with this is, and this is kind of at best, it was a gray market, where it's not, like, illegal, but it doesn't seem to be totally on the up and up. For years now, kind of allegations have surrounded this platform about kind of hackers, it's not old-fashioned, like hackers, people, identity theft people, stealing credit cards, buying a bunch of keys, and selling them to G2A for a profit, and then the cards getting canceled, the payments getting canceled, all that jazz, and then G2A selling a bunch of keys to a bunch of people that don't work, and then but offering no kind of like buyer beware or buyer compensation program. So then people get stuck going like, hey, I bought this key, it doesn't work. Okay, cool, where'd you buy it from? G2A. Yeah, that's cool. That key doesn't exist. But it does, but it doesn't. And this has been going on for years. Like I swear every year we have something pop up about G2A where it's like, yeah, man, that shit seems real illegal. And every year people get out there and be like, yeah, it's not as bad as you think, cheap games, whatever. And at least the allegations in my mind have always rested around the fact that the G2A servers, and I think the company as a whole, operates in markets where this kind of gray market stuff is gray as opposed to black market. Like, if this was in the U.S., it would have more problems getting away with this because it's operated like Ukraine, I want to say, or something. This is not the same laws surrounding kind of the concepts about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, the fact that it's, like, also, have you seen, like, how difficult it is to cancel the G2A shield and all that whole process?
A thing that no longer exists, even?
Yeah. Oh, they got rid of it.
It's a discontinued service that, like, trying to cancel it was fucking bullshit.
Wow. Well, I know canceling it was fucking nightmare, but I didn't know they just canceled the program altogether. I will admit I almost bought into that when I was originally buying keys from them. But wow. Yeah. No, this. Yeah. Well, so what? Now they're just going to be auditing.
Well, so
now apparently, or
kind of in response to all these accusations of fraud and kind of illegal activity, G2A has made the statement that they are offering independent audits of their catalog, meaning, so that sounds real cool, but it's not as kind of cool as it sounds right off the bat. I know it sounds like a dumb sentence, but an audit doesn't mean anything. It means that it means you're going to pay someone to go through their books, hypothetically, and look at this stuff. That doesn't kind of really matter when, like, as far as G2A is concerned, they've done nothing wrong. They were given a key, they paid money for a key, and you bought a key from them. Like, it's the pawn shop selling stolen goods. They just never bothered to ask where those goods came from. So even if it's found that nothing illegal is happening on G2A, because it's not technically, hypothetically, like, it's transactions are happening. Transactions that maybe shouldn't be happening are happening, but they're not explicitly bad at that point. That's the problem. Like, the phrase gray market has never applied to something digital so exactly, where G2A is not necessarily doing anything illegal. They are just benefiting from illegal acts, but their end of it is insulated from the illegal aspect of it because it's just a guy or a girl selling them codes, which in itself isn't a crime. It's how the codes were acquired that is. And it's not G2A's fault that they bought stolen goods not knowing, especially if your country doesn't have laws against that. Like, in the US, pawn shops have rules against that. That's not the case for all countries. Like, hell, going back in the US long enough, that's not always been the case. Like, we all have stories of people selling shit they probably shouldn't have to, like, I'm sure both you and me and Alex have sold stuff to GameStop that we probably shouldn't. Like, hell, I used to go out with someone who worked in the music licensing and video game stuff. Like, she worked for a music company and handled their whole, like, licensing their music for video game stuff, and the company got given, like, 5 free copies of the game typically whenever anything got licensed. She would just sell those games to GameStop because no one at the company wanted them. Or she'd give them to me, where it's like, hey, you want this? I'm like, I don't really need Rocksmith, but okay.
I have never been a part of these scandalous activities. I don't know where you get throwing my name in this. I've never done anything shady to GameStop. They're a great organization that should be well respected. I don't know where this is coming from, sir.
Sure.
But but also fuck GameStop. Anyway.
You admitted to earlier using G2A, so
I have never confirmed nor denied these allegations.
Go back like 10 minutes and Alex is saying, like, in my younger days I used G2A and did heroin with hookers. Like, that's an exact quote from Alex right now.
Hey, that's okay. I mean, come on. Boys will be boys. Sometimes we'll just buy things off the G2A market, okay? That's a valid excuse, right? That gets you away with stuff?
It kind of does in this instance, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so it's not Ukraine. Polish-owned, Hong Kong-based. So
that's a lot of fucking international.
Yeah.
That's fucking Pitbull levels of international.
Yes.
Mr. Worldwide.
Definitely. Yeah. So why does that matter? In territories of China, there's no concept of IP. Just saying.
Yeah, they have absolutely no. They don't care about fucking IP. Period. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, like, there's a very real chance that G2A has technically never done anything wrong. They've just also kind of facilitated or positively reinforced doing bad things by running their business. Like, you open a pawn shop at a bad part of town, someone keeps bringing you VCR players every week. You know they're stealing those VCR players, but you can then sell those VCR players. It's a very old-fashioned example, I apologize. Just think of pawn shops selling VCRs for some weird reason.
That is a little... Yeah.
Yo, I got this hot Betamax.
That's very old.
These-
You're pulling a old reference.
Them and these car stereos. You want one, kid?
Yeah. Got these car stereos, man.
Don't ask where they came from. That's my car stereo. Don't ask where it came from. Also, you want to buy this VCR? That's my VCR. How did you get into my house?
What are you doing? Get out.
Yo, I got these VCRs, man. They're hot. Real hot. Definitely not stolen. They're just hot. Physically hot, as in on fire. From that VCR factory next door, it's on fire.
It fell off a burning
trucks that we definitely didn't rob. Yo. Don't ask why I've got 40 VCRs, man. I gotta record a lot of stuff in 30 kit. Those Super Bowls won't tape themselves.
Stacking 30 VCRs, the original fucking pirating device.
You joke, but back when I was into like doing the anime convention stuff, the practice of tape swapping, which was like it was like someone would record something on a VCR on a cassette tape, and then they'd have like a hotel where they were like fucking cloning that shit for you or something, was messed up. And you were lucky to get like a third or fourth generation clone at that point where it's like only kind of going grainy.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not surprised at all.
Yo, you want Ranma? Not really. Well, you got Ranma now. Cool. You want 8 episodes of Gundam? I would love 8 episodes of Gundam. If they're not in order, one of them's in Polish. Okay. Still take them.
Yeah.
This either contains I love what's it, Tenchi Muyo, or it's just hardcore pornography. So it's full of hardcore pornography because both are hardcore pornography. Got it.
To roll the dice. Let's
No.
see where it lands.
Tenchi Muyo is also hardcore pornography. It's not,
okay.
but it is. It's in some ways more mentally damaging for developing male minds than actual pornography. Yo, all these hot women want to fight over you. Why? Doesn't matter. Shut up. It happens. Harem anime from the 90s, bitches. It's not messed up or anything. Moving on from that, though, a video has been making the rounds of a very familiar system implemented in Borderlands 3. It's got a ping system, a la Apex Legends and now Fortnite. Why is this important? Because it might mean I don't have to ever talk to anyone while playing Borderlands 3.
I like that this is your goal. I don't have to talk to fucking anybody.
I would fucking love if Destiny would get a fucking ping system. The number of goddamn blueberries that know how to start a heroic event curdles my stomach.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too. When you have a bunch of new players coming up, you're going to have people who fuck up the heroic events real bad. It was a big issue when the game first came out.
Always has been.
And then it got better for a while.
And then more
Like,
people
Knew.
joined.
Yep. And just wait till they do the fucking Destiny, whatever. Of life.
I kind of am looking forward to that. Because Looking for Group is already a hellscape. I want to see what Looking for Group is like.
Fair enough.
Looking for Group, year 1 and year 2 players only. No free-to-play bullshit. If you didn't buy the game, we don't want to play with you. And so we got two things that are kind of related to each other, and by kind of I mean they're both a little fucked up. One is serious, one is fucking dumb bullshit. But so try and follow me on this one. So last week we talked about how Twitch has added private streams to it, and I have this entire time been making jokes about how this is just Twitch becoming a cam girl site.
Yeah.
So it turns out that the private streams may violate a bunch of games' terms of services. Ironically, games that are very heavily streamed. Like I guess like in a blanket term of service, almost every Blizzard game has verbiage against doing this.
Yep, 100 fucking.
Yep. So, and what does that mean? Basically, and kind of to rehash some stuff we've talked about for long periods of time on other iteration episodes of this podcast, the idea that kind of if almost any video game developer or publisher wanted to, the whole streaming YouTube thing of video games could get shut down real goddamn quick. The proving of how much is your original creation versus they flat out own is murky at best and often abused in a variety of ways.
Mm-hmm.
But we've hit a kind of comfortable thing where like Fortnite would not be the game it was for streaming, et cetera, et cetera. Streaming obviously helps expose your game, and you pay nothing to do it most often than not, and it can lead to games getting huge successes as a result of that fact. This is all kind of operated in that kind of murky gray zone. And this butts up against the outer limits of that, where kind of previously you weren't charging money necessarily to watch your content. Yeah, ads roll on Twitch and YouTube or whatever, but there was no concept of exclusivity. You weren't blocking other people off from watching it.
Yeah.
Now you are. And now kind of a direct line can be drawn from you are making money to you are showing a game. It's more nuanced than that, but that's what it is at base level, and that's not as cool at that point.
Yeah, no, that's a big fucking issue because it's built into ton. Like, just to name off a few, we've talked about almost every Blizzard game has this against the TO.
Riot has this.
Riot Games, yeah, Riot and like
Valve has
others
rules against it, which is not clear if that extends to just Valve properties or all of Steam, hypothetically.
Well, I think it'd be Valve specific because I don't think they can put any.
They're using their
over,
launcher.
Like, Borderlands. Well, they're using the launcher. I don't think like it's not.
If the chat icon ever pops up or they show the Valve launcher, that's technically in violation. Or,
oh, you mean the overlay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. That would be interesting to see if that's the level of.
I think that's a real hard case to make at that point, but that's potentially where you can go with this. That's where it gets weird.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Huh. Because then it is proprietary, their overlay thing. So it would make sense that would be something flagged.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, to kind of put this whole thing in context, Blizzard out there made a statement that basically said, we don't care about private streams so long as private streams eventually become public. And that's cool, but I don't... Does Twitch's system actually let you do that even?
Yeah, you're allowed to export stuff into YouTube and all that stuff later. Like, I know with Twitch, when you stream, you can set it to upload when it's done directly to YouTube, but you can put it under a private...
Yeah.
Like, you can mark the video as private, so it doesn't automatically show to the public, and then you can obviously take time to chop it up and edit it, and then throw it up in the public.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely do that, but still, it's very questionable, right? Like, that, like... Because how do you even audit that stuff goes public eventually if it was a private stream in the first place?
So that's where it gets weird.
Unless they're watching...
The legalese for this is vague enough that it's like, it's the... Hypothetically, you can get around it by, okay, you make all of your private streams eventually kind of public. But that might not be enough. Like, the angle, like, the Blizzard specifically kind of targets the idea where it's like, we get the idea of premium, like, ad-free or faster access. That we're fine with. It's when you can't view it for free that we have a problem. And maybe kind of archives after the fact will get you there, but it might not.
Because there's no guarantee.
Yep.
Again, rest in peace, camgirl views on Twitch. You'll just have to settle for the just chatting subcategory and the kind of very loose stuff they get away with.
Yeah. I've been waiting for some shit like this to happen, I guess. Like, it's Twitch and YouTube, to a lesser extent, but especially Twitch, has kind of pushed the envelope on, like the live music stuff. We've had problems with, like, at our school we've had problems. Like, it's the... Twitch obviously protects its top earners, as makes sense, as all of the Dr. Disrespect stuff, but there eventually comes a point where if a company big enough says, yeah, you just can't stream our games anymore, that becomes a problem. Like, imagine if Blizzard said, no, we're fucking done with people streaming our shit.
That would be fucking crazy. Well, I mean, shit, look, actually, let's use a real case scenario. For the longest time, Nintendo wanted no fucking people streaming the Smash Brothers shit as a tournament. Like, they were vetoing tons of that. And I mean, for the community, that fucking sucked. Because how long did it take for, like, an actual good streaming community for Smash to really build up? I think it took some time because Nintendo was having fucking none of it. So, I mean, you have a use case scenario if it happens in real life.
I might make the argument that, like, Nintendo is Nintendo, but Nintendo doesn't have the same streamer numbers that, like Riot does or Blizzard. Like those are games that would Overwatch be what it is without streamers?
No, fuck
Yeah.
no. Yeah, I mean it would be good to hype, and then it would eventually die out.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm glad we're getting some updates on that, and hopefully there's some sort of resolution and it doesn't work out. I just think the idea of exclusive streams is
It's
personally.
I don't
Like if you want to cam girl it up, go fucking cam girl it up on an actual site that lets you.
Yeah, you are at that point entering the. Well, so this where it gets weird. Cause like websites that aren't Twitch, like Giant Bomb does subscriber streams. The idea, and they do ultimately archive them though with some frequency. I don't know if this will affect them as part of that, but like there is an idea of you are paying for better access. Typically, in their case, it means you can watch like the live shows of their podcasts and stuff, and there is some premium content that they put out. But this hypothetically kind of conflicts with a bunch of business models out there. Think about how much Patreon stuff is hypothetically affected by this. That's very much pay-as-you-go style stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, Patreon's also kind of a weird thing because my understanding is Patreon is original content.
Not necessarily. Like a lot of people have used that to kind of counteract the weird YouTube monetization stuff. A lot of YouTube shows now use Patreon and offer some type of premium content, often like either a special, like an ad-free version of a podcast or something through that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's often kind of it's often a duplicate of the content they're already putting out. I think it's like a Game Over Greg's gamer tag, I think, but like they offer daily podcasts for Patreon members or kind of like people that pay money for it, and then once a week podcasts. It's all 5 podcasts stitched together into one thing on Fridays or something. I don't remember exactly how it works, but like it is very much a used thing in the gaming industry. Like hell, I take a brother like fucking Rooster Teeth has had premium content for years. That wasn't general public, so that was hosted on their sites.
But I mean, is it put up eventually, and is it
not necessarily? Content? But like, this extends far enough for like Red versus Blue. That's still using game assets, which they don't own.
But the Red versus Blue stuff was always online, public. It wasn't private.
Yes, what I'm saying is like, what if it was? I don't know if I do hypotheticals like this, but it's like, what if it was like if you had a kind of premium, if you had like another season of Red vs. Blue that was private to kind of subscribers only, that hypothetically violates this. I think they've actually done some stuff like that. I don't know.
I'm sure that would get shut down.
Not necessarily. Like, I think Twitch is fucking huge in ways that like other sites aren't yet. Like, I'm not saying Red vs. Blue and RTX Rooster Teeth aren't big, but I don't think they have the same like daily access rates as Twitch. And I think it's like this shit only comes up when one of your big giants makes a move, and it's like, actually no, that's not cool with us. But everyone else is doing it. They've been doing it under our radar. You got out there and made a press release.
I don't know, man. It's. I'm trying to like piece this up.
Yeah.
Like it's a real sticky situation, man. I mean, Red versus Blue, like you said before.
I mean, that's a bad example because it's always been free and it kind of complicates my argument. But like, it's.
I mean, okay. So here's another like. This could be an interesting example. Classic WoW. There was a guy who put together leveling guides and all that stuff for WoW. He sold those leveling guides. Would that count under something
hypothetically?
Like that, or is it...
Yeah. It was there video content.
Maybe I don't know if there was. It was a written guide.
Written guides are less actionable because they're not. That's where it gets kind of the weird copyright aspect of it, because the written word aspect of it makes it more of your original work. Like you are creating something new. It's based off of something else. It's very much a backbone type of situation. But like Let's Play videos, I guess use Red vs. Blue as an example. you could do Red versus Blue without Halo. Would it be as successful? Okay. I do not know. But it uses Halo assets, which means it is kind of only existing by Bungie, or I guess now Microsoft, being like, we're cool with this. We like that you're doing this, we're fine, but they don't own those assets. It goes back to the Coca-Cola John Wick debate again, kind of thing, where it's they are cool with you showing that, often getting paid money to let you do that. In this case, it's you're bringing attention to their game, and that's good for their game kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the argument this, maybe kind of to take a sidestep to what the argument actually is, maybe the argument at that point is, like, you are at that point solely pandering to your subscribers. You're not kind of, in theory, advertising their game, which is the kind of murky agreement that we've operated under so long. It's we stream your games, we're advertising your game, maybe people buy it, maybe we don't. You start shutting it off to people that are only paying your content. They don't really care what you're playing, they're just watching you at that point. And
yeah,
then the whole kind of handshake agreement of, okay, we advertise your stuff for free, we make money off the ads, essentially, falls apart because, like, you're not reaching as many people, hypothetically. You're only reaching subscribers. Like, the subscriber count on Twitch versus the actual eyeballs on a video are hugely different numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of... Okay, so I kind of take it a step back. Whenever... we've talked about this so many times, I don't want to kind of rehash it too much. Like, it's the review versus not review aspect of it. Like, the way shows like channels like G4 got around kind of some of these rules for so long was that what they were showing were reviews. They were like, they weren't just showing gameplay. Like, if G4 existed in the modern context, I don't think you could just have Let's Plays on TV. Maybe you could, but I don't think the legalese works out in a way that makes that work. Because you're a channel and you're then hypothetically exclusive to cable options and whatever. It gets real murky. But if it's a review, you can use content from it. You can't just show stuff as examples. Unless you get permission to do so, and I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the rules on this one. It puts you into actionable territory. But I don't fucking know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also kind of at
Yeah, it is. I am sure a service lots of kind of YouTubers or Twitch streamers, have wanted for a long time. But I think the fact that, like, to use the cam girl example, the cam girl thing only works because you're advertising. Your content is you at that point. A lot of those sites have very specific rules. I looked this up, sadly, because we had to talk about this week. Have kind of things saying you can be doing stuff, but you can't show. You can play video games. Don't fucking show the video game, for the love of God.
Mm-hmm.
You can have the sound because it's a little less actionable, but the moment you start showing video, that's when things get weirder. And also, camgirl sites are typically smaller in subscriber base than Twitch. Like, it literally comes down to Twitch is part of Amazon. That makes it a fucking huge company. And that means it's very suable. There's money to be had, if you will. But like I said, on the opposite, kind of, and somewhat related to this, we have a feel-good story this week of you, if you will, of true entrepreneurship and creepy-ass behavior. Keeping with our camgirl-ass theme, some lady got out there and is selling gamer girl bathwater for $30 a bottle, and people are fucking buying it.
It's sold out.
Sold out.
It fucking sold
out. Now, before we dive too deep into this, and I promise we're not going to, because every part of this whole situation makes my skin crawl a little bit. We are literally talking about bathwater someone used allegedly, because you could totally just bottle water at this point and sell it.
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
Still.
Yep.
That note, though, I would like to officially announce
waiting for this
that I am working on a gamer shirt, but this is not that esports jersey or any of that. I am planning on to ferment a shirt for about 3 days. I'll wear it. There will be Cheeto dust and Mountain Dew stains and maybe some Red Bull stains on it. I will let it kind of fester for about 3-5 days, and I will be selling these shirts for $25.
So people already do that, FYI.
Well, I am stepping into it because
typically it's like gym apparel, but yeah,
I need the money. And if I can sell you my Festering...
I love the choice of Festering, not rank, not soiled, Festering. Like, shit's growing on it is the impression I get off Festering. Like,
yep.
Just fucking sweating raw Red Bull at that point.
Yep. So, yeah, I look forward to working on these shirts. Of course, since they are festering for about 3 days, you would need to give me some time, but I will make it happen.
But Alex, what if you just found a way, a la the second season or third season of Origins: The New Black, to mass produce your Festering t-shirts?
Well, I have to find real guy gamers, okay? Because
whoa, guys are going to be wearing these?
Yeah, these are guy gamer shirts, okay?
Pervs aren't going to want guy gamer shirts.
Well, there probably will be. I am taking a hold of this market. Guys can be gamers too, okay? And we're going to fucking make some shirts.
I just threw up my mouth a little bit. We've been talking about this for long enough. This whole conversation is actively making me feel sick. Like,
yeah.
I feel gross.
Every shirt will be made to order, so if you want Dorito dust and Coke stains, I can do that.
I'm just picturing you now, like, sitting in, like, a plastic-wrapped Lazy Boy with, like, a pallet of shit to dump on you next to yourself, where you're looking at an order, Mountain Dew, just, like, rubbing Mountain Dew on yourself, just, like, putting a glob of it, because that's how Mountain Dew comes out of the bottle, apparently, in my mind. Just like a shirt and being like, yeah!
So the way I would do it is I would be like, oops, and then spill a bunch of it on me. So it's like a wet t-shirt, but it's like Red Bull falling on my chest.
Red Bull.
And then it gets a little bit transparent, and you can see the chest hair. And, it'll come with some chest hair. I'm a hairy man. I could stream it. It'll be like a mukbang channel, but for making my dirty shirts, my dirty guy gamer shirts. I've thought this out.
Yeah, you have apparently.
Yeah. And so, like I said, they'll be made to order. So you can get them with Cheeto dust, Dorito dust. If you like red hot Cheetos, I can do that too. I am okay with it. I will kind of maybe take pictures of me making the shirt. So so that it's not this false accusation of you think it might be bathwater. No. You can see pictures of authenticity of me making the shirt. So, don't worry.
I need to go drink all of the bleach. So
all shirts will be about a 4X because guy gamers are thick. So if you're a petite person, you can wear this as a giant shirt after a conquest. But yeah. Oh, also, I will not be wearing deodorant for the 3 days that I make this shirt, so it really builds up that authentic guy gamer smell.
For the record, I have the same reaction to someone buying bathwater, period, that Alex's horrible gamer shirt. This is not because he's a dude. The idea of sending someone fucking used bathwater is also fucking gross.
Fucking hilarious.
Shame. We need shame.
Every day we stray further away from God's light.
God never existed. We're just feeling way too comfortable saying shit now. Like, I want to drink your bath water, baby. Ah! That's what you're into, fine, whatever. That's not my thing. But also, like, I'm not sure mailing liquids is actually legal in the U.S., so
fair.
Don't fucking buy people's bath water on the internet. Or do, if that's what you really want, but, like, don't buy it ironically. You bought some of the bathwater, didn't you, Alex? You sure about that fact?
I'll send you the first one.
I really hate that this fucking bathwater shit made the rounds on, like, legit gaming news sites, not like the fringe ones we occasionally go to, but no, like, fucking mainstream ones are like, oh, this girl's selling gamer bathwater shit. I'm like, stop bringing the fetish universe into my mainstream universe. Both are fine, they may coexist, but I don't want to go from about how Pikachu is blah 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 to fucking gamer girl bathwater, yo. Yeah, get that sweat. The daily grime washed off in a bath. Or probably not, it's just fucking water, you idiots. SWS like to announce its own brand of branded water, though, too.
Oh, really? What kind of water
it is most definitely not water I get from my tap and put into a jug and then mailed to you for $30 a bottle.
But what's special?
It is gamer water. Unlike normal water, which is not engineered for peak gaming format, this is water poured into a bottle next to an Xbox or a PlayStation or a NVIDIA 2080 graphics card. You have my word of this fact. For an extra $15, we will dip a RAM chip into the water. That's the premium water.
I like this. Yeah.
And for an extra $100, we will slap a logo from a company we don't have the rights to put a logo on the bottle. Yes, we're back to talking about copyright and IP things. This was a long walk for that, actually. So the legalese aspect of this gamer girl bullshit might actually make it illegal because she's slapping an Xbox logo on the bottles.
And a Diva logo.
Making it actionable, hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very long walk for this bit.
Yeah, that was kind of a journey.
Yeah. And that does link back to the cam girling stuff we've been talking about with Twitch, because you are, at that point, privately making money off a non-master distributed.
Yep.
If you wash a fedora in gamer girl bathwater, does it gain like plus 30 charisma? On top of its already plus 100 charisma?
I don't know. Is it like adding holy water to a fedora? I would think that would be a thing, maybe.
One would assume.
We'll find out. Also, I'd like to announce my gamer fedoras. I will wear them for 5 days in hot, sweaty sauna to really let the juices build up on them.
I'm just picturing you in a fucking sauna now, wearing a fedora and a towel, it's being like, sup, and every person that walks in being like, well, this is the fucking creepiest thing ever.
Yep. 100%. I'll make sure to like drink a bunch of Red Bull and Mountain Dew prior to going to the sauna, so it comes out of my pores.
Get a fucking contact high of caffeine off the hat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Somehow I'll sneak in a bag of Cheetos and eat them while I'm in the sauna, and then be like, "Oops," and wipe my brim.
What is it with you eating Cheetos and going, "Oops"?
I don't know. I just need a gimmick, man. I need a fucking gimmick. So anyway, again, every day we stray further away from God's light.
There's no God's light. There's only the void.
Here we are.
I need before this podcast.
You haven't eaten yet?
I saw the fucking words "gaming bathwater" on our news list. Oh God, we need news to come back. Oh, God. That does it for news. I need to go lie down and kill myself, maybe.
Oh, Jesus. That escalated quickly.
You are forgetting the industries I have worked in and some of the conversations I've had to kind of like catch out of earshot or whatever. That like it's funny when this is hypothetical and not something you've like walked into a actual conversation about, but yeah. Remember, there are used panty machines in Japan. Yep. On behalf of pervert kind, I apologize. We do not!
Oh, I bet we will next week.
I bet we will next week, too, unfortunately.
I can't wait to hear back from Henry.
This is why Henry didn't show up this week. Someone's bathwater just noped out of the podcast.
Or as the kids say, he yeeted
We
on
are
out
not
of
young enough to say that anymore.
here. Yeet.
No, you're not.
You're older
No, I'm
than I am.
not.
I know. This is my illusion.
Of the three of us, I have the youngest of hearts.
That's right. I am the oldest.
No, Henry's the oldest.
Is he? How old is Henry?
40, I think.
Is he? Oh, okay.
Close to that.
Watch him be here next week and be like, "What the fuck? I'm not 40."
22.
Boy, that would be a plot twist.
Yes, that would be a plot twist, and not just us not knowing how old our friend is. Yes, plot twist.
Indeed.
If you're using this phrase wrong.
Look, I'm selling fucking gamer shirts. I clearly don't care about what's right.
That's totally true. And to get us off that, if you want to send us emails about anything we talked about this week, we can be reached at wickedawesomecast@gmail.com. What's that email again, Alex?
wickedawesomecast@gmail.com for all your questions and inquiries regarding gamer fedoras and SWS.
I will make a filter that deletes those. No, I won't, because they'd be funny to read, but I really want to.
Please send all your inquiries. I look forward to hearing
Sizing charts, etc., etc.
No, you only get one size, so I can only wear one size.
No, you will make what people want, Alex.
I'm not going to fit into a fucking medium.
That's too bad.
Well, shit. It might be funny.
Wearing a tiny fedora around.
A little fedora. Baby fedora. Okay, I'm sold on it.
The whittlest of fedoras.
Oh, so
would look like a weird Mad Moxie ripoff then. The neckbeard version of Mad Moxie. Actually, should be on brand for this horrible conversation, so yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Emails down in the show notes, etc., along with our social media stuff. Please don't send me ads for bathwater. Don't do it, please. This news article almost got kicked this week because I'm just like, no, I don't want to talk about this perv-ass shit on the podcast, but we have nothing better to talk about, so fuck it.
Nope. We're talking about this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesomecast@gmail.com.
Do you want to take us out?
Cue the fucking metal.